Well, I was gifted this piece of wood a very long time ago, and now I finally figured out what to do with it. Hey, I'm Janelle, this is toDIYfor, and I'm gonna be making it into a coffee table. It didn't have a flat edge on any other side, so I thought it would be best suited as a coffee table as opposed to something taller that would have maybe made a beautiful kind of like entryway table, but you can't push it up against a wall very well. So coffee table it is, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. The legs that we're gonna put on it, instead of, buying some hairpin legs, I thought that it would be a good idea to show you how easy it is to just simply use wood and give it the effect that you have those, metal legs that kind of have that industrial look to them. So let's get into this DIY. It's inexpensive and easy to do.
All right, so I grabbed a 2x2 and I'm going to chop this down into the pieces for my table. This is going to depend on how high you want your table to go and how wide you need it to be, but I would highly recommend using a miter saw for this project. It's going to make it way easier. I chopped mine into 16 and 12-inch pieces, 4 of each of those, and then I went back and I used my miter saw to cut a 45-degree angle to have each of these pieces taper toward the inside. This is how we are going to get our perfect box shape, similar to a picture frame. So this is the first time I've ever done this, so I'm not telling you that I'm a pro or this is the best way to do it. Ideally, I wish I had a nail gun and a second set of hands. So I nailed in a few nails on each side to kind of pre-nail them to make this easier to do on my own. Using some wood glue, I'm gonna butt these two sides together and take that nail that's already, like hammered in halfway up top and hammer it in. Unfortunately, this was a little off camera, but I did do it all by myself and it was pretty tricky to do. First piece, obviously the hardest. It gets a little bit easier as it gets stable, and the last piece is definitely the easiest. Still not that easy to do on your own, but this is going to make sure that it fastens it really well and that glue holds and you have a sturdy frame here. So like I said, if I had a nail gun, that would have been so much easier. But once I was done, here's my little rectangle shape, and what I would say is just make sure when you're putting your nails in, do it on the top and bottom. That way the nails won't be seen. This will be on the floor and the other end will be where the board goes across, so it won't be seen. I went back and I filled some of the cracks because yes, these cuts are not perfect. Like I said, this is my first time doing this, with some putty to just try and help make that as seamless as possible. And then once that dries, you're gonna go ahead and sand it down, make it nice and smooth. The idea here is that we're making this wood look like it is a steel frame. So steel is smooth, this has gotta be smooth. Once you wipe it all down, give it a couple of coats of paint. I chose a black limousine, which is a color that I've used quite a few times in my house. 2 coats of black paint, 2 coats of polyurethane, and then we're going to fasten it to our top board. So I drew some pilot holes and then just some screws in the bottom and buried those screws. And is this not beautiful? I absolutely love this board on top. It's thick, it looks expensive. I have no idea if it was because it was gifted to me, but I can't tell you how that finish was done because I didn't do it. It was already finished that way when I got it, but it's a beautiful live edge piece of wood, and I think this would look great for anything like that. Let me know what you thought of this DIY, and I'll be back next week with a new one.